8:35. I get 8:36, and we are going to get started. For anybody who is starting to have any questions about their house, they wanted to ask questions about their inspection or what an inspector does. That's what we're here for today. And every Wednesday morning, come join us or check us out on YouTube. We're going to record these, and some are better than others. Some we just start talking about morning stuff, and some we get into really good things. We'll put the good things on my website, and we can talk about maintenance tips. I see Alexis is here. Thanks for being here, Alexis.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and we want to have some more realtors on, and we can ask questions to realtors and actually contractors, subcontractors. Kind of have it like the Saturday morning. Dave, oh, who is that? Dave
Ramsey. He does a thing.
Say who is it?
Dave Ramsey. He does a
No,
morning.
no. Oh, he's a comedian. Home show. It's a home show.
Oh.
And I don't know how much comedic relief we will have, but we can hopefully inform you guys in lieu of any questions. Do we have any questions come up this week that we can
Not that
address?
I have had. Everybody that I spoke to was real happy, and I just continue to tell people, you might not have questions now, but once you move into the home, questions will come up. You might not, hey, I didn't notice this before. Give us a call, and then we tell them to join in if they have questions.
Yeah. Yep, that's good. Well, glad we didn't have any questions.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have if you're doing a live Q&A. You kind of want the questions.
Yeah, I know.
That's so funny.
So I'm gonna go over my sheet. I'm gonna look at it and see if there's anything I want to talk about and make sure everybody is aware of. I think the rest of this week, being that I think next time we meet, we're gonna find out who the next president is. Hopefully we don't have any unrest, but let's just prepare for bad weather. And
Exactly.
I am stocking up on filling my gas tank and running my generator for a few minutes, making sure that's fired up. Just never know what's going to happen. If the storm hits, then we'll be prepared.
Mm-hmm. Yep, nobody expected Hurricane Helene to come through. You never know.
I know, especially way up there. That was just crazy. Absolutely nuts. I think we talked about most of these the last time. I think we ran through them all, and I mentioned quickly what to do on good maintenance tips. We have yearly maintenance tips also. I don't think we've ever talked about those. That is, I'll give you an estimated useful life on smoke detectors also, but there is a time that you need to set aside a particular month that you want to check your smoke detectors. I have it as a yearly check. You can do the yearly items any particular month you want. But checking the smoke detectors, just make sure they still chime. The best way to check them, well, if you smoke, get a cigarette, have it burn right close to it. It should go off with that amount of smoke, but a few wooden matches, blow them out and just let the smoke hit it. Make sure it chimes, or you can use a test button. When you use your test button, you should have smoke detectors in every single bedroom and outside the bedroom area, and at least one on every floor. Check your fire extinguishers. This might be fire safety month or something. Your fire extinguishers, what I do is I keep them close to the kitchen, but outside the kitchen. If you do have a fire, you want to, first thing you want to do is go for your fire extinguisher. You don't want to have to reach around the flame to get your fire extinguisher. You want to run away from your kitchen, get your fire extinguisher, and come back and address what you can.
Point it at the bottom and sweep.
Yeah,
What is it? It's what is it? Aim, pull, squeeze, or something like that. Aim
pull,
it at
aim,
the bottom. Pull
squeeze,
the
pull. You got to pull that pin out first.
yeah.
Take a look at your fire extinguisher. Make sure you know how the pin works and make sure it makes sense to you. And when you squeeze, it might be a little difficult to squeeze, but it's probably a little safety, child safety. You don't want a 5-year-old playing with that thing. Let's see. Clean your range hood filter. It's time to do that. Every once in a while, you need to get that cleaned. It's going to exhaust oils and grease and
I have a tip for that.
oh, you do. Good.
Dawn dish soap. You take that sucker off and you put it in a Dawn dish soap bath, and then you can put a little baking soda in there with it. That was the best. That and the Dawn Power wash. I use that when I cleaned houses.
Wow. That is good. I had a friend come over the other day and he was working on his car. Got a little
Hmm.
greasy and in lieu of getting that really good stuff to get grease off, which is called goof off. And it's just like a paste or oil, and you just work it into your hands and it really gets the grease off. He came in, he says, "Do you have any Dawn dishwashing liquid?" And what it does, just good grease breaker downer. And it
Yeah,
pulls
Dawn
it
is
down.
great for
Dawn is great.
everything.
We use it for a number of things. I think we use it somewhere, something to do with our lawn. I don't know. It would come up again. Um, but let's see, what else do we have? All right, there is a temperature and pressure relief valve on your water heater. And that is something that should be checked once a year. Well, they say it should be checked once a year. Whoever they are. The manufacturer says it should be tested once a year. Now, test is different than just inspected. And I give mine a twirl. I don't actually add water to the line. Your line, if you do, it would be a fine test. It shouldn't hurt anything. You should be able to twirl that little valve. It's a tiny little pressure relief valve on your water heater. Has a stem in there and then a little handle on it. That handle should be able to twirl real easy. As in with your pinky, no resistance. It's just a pin without any threads in it, and it's on a spring. So if the temperature or the pressure gets too high in your water heater, then what you do, it'll just open up and allow the water to release. So your water heater doesn't explode. And every once in a while you hear about that. It doesn't happen very often. Uh, Other valves would probably give way, but about once a year I hear about one exploding. And
It always makes me think of the Flubber movie. Do you remember right in the beginning, his water heater shoots up and then it falls in the yard?
that is exactly what happens.
That's
And
scary.
I saw a video of the aftermath of one that exploded. It was a 2-story house with a basement. The water heater started in the basement and it was stuck in the roof. So it went
Gee,
through it,
that's
it's a
crazy.
rocket. It is crazy. There was another one in North Carolina I heard of that it just destroyed his garage. He was sleeping on the other side of the house and they found his water heater down the block. He thought it was a bomb that went off, and it essentially it was. It was a rocket. Um, it reminds me of the little rockets that we had when the kids were little. It was it was a little plastic thing about 6 inches long with a little, it looked like a pool toy, one of those heavy plastic pool toys you throw in the water and it's just a little torpedo. But it was
Yeah.
like that. It was a hollow plastic and you put baking soda and vinegar in there. And you put it's the way you did it is you could put it in there and then shake it up real good and set it down and stand back. And then it would shoot up in the air. It would shoot up at 300 feet or something.
Oh, wow.
It just shot. No, maybe 100 feet.
Hmm.
But it was cute for the kids. Nice little science experiment.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pressure can build up in a water heater. If that is the the situation, that the one in North Carolina that blew up, you have to have just the right conditions. This guy said his water heater didn't work. He wasn't, it wasn't a priority for him to fix it. So he turned his water heater off. It was just not heating or something, and he turned the valves off, and his friend came to visit and he goes, "Oh, we can get that fixed." So he tried to fix it and they didn't have any luck, but the valves were off, and both the valves, the hot and the cold water valve was off, and you're not supposed to have two valves on a water heater, just one on the incoming line. So it was really shut down. And since it was an old water heater anyway, the T&P valve was not working. So there was no relief on the water heater at all. And it just blew his garage apart. And they found the water heater down the block. It happens. And then you can look it up on Mythbusters and see what happens if your T&P valve does not work. And they have the pressure gauges, and the guys are in a booth a couple 100 feet away, and it goes off like a rocket, and it's interesting. Check the garage door auto reverse, and that is, there's a little photo eye down at the bottom, and you hit your garage door button and it comes down, and that should be anywhere from 4 to 6 inches off the ground, and that apparently is the right height for kids and pets and so forth. But if you wave your foot across that laser that goes, the little photo eye that goes across the bottom of the garage door threshold, then the garage door should stop and reverse and go back up. It's just good to know that that thing works if needed. So that's it for the yearly maintenance. And these are just checks. These are just checks to make sure everything works. A lot of what home inspectors do on an inspection. So if it doesn't work, before you buy the house, you can address it properly. Either have them fix it or you fix it when you move in, or hire someone to get it fixed.
Yeah, definitely get it done because
Yep.
it'd be expensive after the fact.
Yep. That's right. You don't want your garage door to crush your little puppy or
Mm-mm.
your kittens,
Yeah, or your child, depending on the age.
or blow up your garage, one of the two.
Oh, gosh. That'd be awful. That would be awful. Because then what would happen? Like, if something like that were to happen, who's to say if your homeowner's insurance would even cover that because they're so funny, you know?
Ah, you would think your insurance would cover that,
You
but
would think
right.
so,
Yeah.
but for Hurricane Helene, they were telling people that if you mentioned the word flood, unless you had flood insurance, they wouldn't cover it.
Oh,
Yeah,
unless you
I don't
had
trust
flood
insurance.
insurance. Interesting. That is a thing because you're not covered by floods.
Yeah, but
That
it's just crazy to think they were so far away.
I know.
Mm.
Well, you're in a bowl and you don't want to build your house in a natural wash area. You want to build your house on a hill, keep it up, away from all the flood potential.
Yeah. There's so many hills though.
I know, and in Helen by the river, we do some inspecting up there. Their houses are built on piers. It looks like underneath the house, it looks like a downtown Atlanta parking lot. Just big concrete columns and holding up the slab
Hmm.
platform where they build the house. It's interesting. And you always have steps. Definitely not a slab house as a retirement property, but it's going to be a beautiful view.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about it for today. That was yearly maintenance from my maintenance tips. That'll work. We'll put this one in. And
Great.
otherwise, we will see you next time.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
See you later.
Richard Smith, inspecting homes and protecting dreams.
Bye.
Thanks.